Hello everyone, and welcome to another beer review. Today we are continuing the series of the kind of cheaper end, mass produced kind of international beer brands, and so far we've done Stella Artois at 4.6%, Foster's Lager, and we've done Carling, which is the UK's most popular lager and beer in general. Now we're going to do one that I always found very strange, because I've drunk it in all different formats. I've drunk it in the UK and the US, and I just can't understand the hype. Maybe it's good marketing, maybe that type of stuff, but if you were relying on the flavour, well, with my experience, it completely lacks of flavour. But anyway, we'll find out. So today we're doing quite a famous brand of beer, and it's Budweiser. Budweiser is a fairly kind of cheap beer. It used to be, when I first started drinking, it was quite an expensive beer. Budweiser was expensive compared to its kind of rivals, so it was classed as premium because it was expensive. You learn quite quickly that you don't always get what you pay for, and with Budweiser I think you're basically paying more for the branding and the advertising and the marketing than the actual fluid in the bottle or the can, because sure as hell that wasn't worth shit. So yeah, so Budweiser, and they still say king of beers. I mean, seriously, God, beer must be a really shit drink if this is the king. I mean, am I missing something? I'm sorry, but no. But of course, it's got a bit of bump on it. Carling didn't have it. There's a little bit of bump on the Fosters. Nothing really on Stella Artois. So Carling and Stella Artois kind of, well, there you go. It's a fairly kind of mass-produced, cheapish beer. That is what it is. Foster's had a little bit of bollocksy bump. It was just bollocks. And Budweiser, well, it's just littered with it. So it's a king of beers. It's brewed by our original process from the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt. All this bollocks. World renowned. That's because you pay a lot of marketing companies to make sure. Ingredients: water, barley, malt, rice, and hops. Brewed in the UK and distributed by AB InBev UK Limited. But of course, Anheuser-Busch is the actual original brewers. We know the history of Budweiser, and of course Budweiser, Budvar from the Czech Republic and things like that. I'm not going to go into it. It's what size a can is it? 440ml can. It's 4.5%, so it's 5%, 0.5%, half a percent more than the likes of Carling and Foster's. It's slightly below Stella Artois, but it's 4.6 now. So you can see how they're all kind of like 4, 4.5, 4.6. So they're all kind of around about that kind of area. So let's see what it looks like. We have the glass. Oh, it's daddy. There we go. And let's see what it's like. Ooh, as you can see, it's a lot kind of lighter, kind of straw coloured compared to the likes of Carling or what do you call it, Foster's and things like that. So yes, it's a lot lighter in colour. It's about almost 2-finger kind of head. It does have an ever so slightly kind of what we call prawn cracker style head. It's like the tight foam, but with kind of big bubbles littered all over the place. That usually makes the head start to dissipate very, very quickly, even without doing anything. It's quite well carbonated. Smell. Come on, could have given me something. Doesn't smell of anything. Jeez. God, we can't even make it smell of anything. God knows what we're going to do for flavour, but anyway. And see how the head dissipated so quickly. My goodness. Oh, I'll let you know a wee secret. When I was a young man out in the weekends looking for ladies. Yeah, well, I said looking, didn't say I ever got any, but I was looking. And look how dead that's gone. Look, see, my goodness. It's just, now it's a case as though the small bubbles have dissipated and we've got left with the kind of big bubbles. It's like, just dreadful actually, just now, it's just not good. But yes, and it was one of the drinks at the time when I was going out in the nightclubs and the pubs regularly, on the search for love and romance. And yeah, the three main kind of popular beers at the time were Beck's, Budweiser, although Budweiser was more expensive, and of course there was Miller Genuine Draft, MGD. So yes, and I suppose you'd also get Miller Lite as well at the time, and I suppose Coors now and again, and Molson and Labatt's, all that kind of stuff. But the main three were the kind of Beck's, which was god awful, Budweiser, overpriced, and Miller Genuine Draft, which I used to drink Miller Genuine Draft if I was drinking it in the nightclub, because I would never buy a pint in the nightclub, because hey, you couldn't even keep the floor clean. The chance of giving you a clean bloody glass. So yes, we went for the type of the hygienic option of drink from bottles. As you can see, it's not really lively anymore. There's a bit of kind of lacing and stuff to the glass, but really no flavour, no smell at all. Nothing. Anyway, let's see what it tastes like. I might have to play this video back because I need to actually check to see if I actually drunk any of this. Now, you probably see me drink it, and I actually believe that I actually drunk something there. My mouth is saying something different. It's like, yeah, and what? Because I'm getting nothing from this. It's just. It's like, it's very watery, very light indeed. Flavour profiles, I suppose there is a slight kind of malty beery kind of taste. There's no aftertaste whatsoever. There's no, just, everything is just very light. It's just hints of beer, malt, hop. I suppose there is a kind of crispness to it, but I'm not saying it's a crispness because of the beer. The crispness, I think, is coming from the carbonation, because it's quite well carbonated, as you can probably see. Let's look at it. It's still, and the head, it's nearly completely gone now. Just, you can see how transparent through it is. See, just lacking. And the head totally died, almost. It's very light, very nondescript. I suppose it's a slight light sweetness to the aftertaste. Now with Carling, I did try it with a beer snack. So I've got another beer snack here. So another port scratching to try and make it. I wish I'd probably done it with the rest of them. But what we'll do is we'll also get them all together, all these beers, and we'll actually review them up against each other and we'll see what they're like. But in the meantime, it's a case as though, let's try it with a port scratching and see what it's like. For those of you who don't know what a pork scratch is, it's kind of a fried kind of pork rind that does it. And we're using the same ones as we did last time, which was MS, which is Midland Snacks, traditional pork scratchings. It's just basically pork rind, kind of hand fried, and very tasty. It's a traditional kind of snack you'll get in British pubs up and down the country, and damn popular. And yeah. And again, what it's done the same as what it did with Carling, and it has made it kind of the drink a bit more sweeter. It brings out a kind of sweetness to it because it is a more savoury kind of snack. It is a salty snack, and yeah, the drink kind of tends to taste a bit more sweet. We used to drink this in bottles. We never usually get it in cans when we're in the pubs. It livens up a bit, but you can hear it like dropping a bone cracker into water, like crackle, crackle, crackle. It's like Rice Krispies. Inoffensive, very light, nothing really there at all. Hints of beer and malt and things like that, but if you like stronger beers, then it's almost like water really. It's just nothing really there. Again, it's Budweiser. It's a lot cheaper now, Budweiser, than what it used to be. I mean, I used to drink it in nightclubs and everything else, so yes, it's now part of the kind of the mass-produced international beer scene. Carling, Foster's, Stella Artois, they're all kind of amalgamated, kind of competing against each other. So yeah, they've always got some sort of Budweiser kind of deal on in the supermarkets. You don't really see it so much on draft in British pubs. So you maybe get it as an option as a can or as a bottle, which if it was in a pub, most people probably wouldn't go for it. In a nightclub, well, maybe so, because at least you know you're getting what you're getting. Budweiser's a bit like kind of, I suppose, like McDonald's. It's a safe option. If you're not sure on that type of stuff, or you're not sure what's available or what things are going to be like, if you're in a place where you're kind of unknown, like a different country or things like that, you know, we don't know what the local stuff's like. Well, Budweiser's a safe option because, well, you know what you're getting. 4.5% of alcohol. There is a kind of cold, thirst quenching kind of properties to it. But you're not going to get any beer flavours, you're not going to get anything that's going to cause you any kind of issues or problems because there's just nothing really there. I find it quite empty. So, how are we going to review this? Would I buy it? Probably not, no. No. To me, it was always a kind of, when I was younger, it was always classed as overpriced for what it was. And nowadays, well, I'm sorry, but I can go to Aldi and get a better tasting beer for a heck of a lot less. So, or Lidl, or any supermarket, I suppose, if you shop around, there's deals on and things like that you'll get something better tasting than Budweiser. Would I buy it? No. Would I recommend it? Well, yeah. I mean, it's an unoffensive, generic kind of beer. Very, very light compared to a lot of them. It's light in colour, light in flavour, and light in head. There we go. Fine for barbecues, people popping around, you want a bud, that type of thing. That's it, really. Out of 5, what would I give it? Well, to be fair, I'd probably give it a 1.5, same as Foster's, because I don't think Foster's is as weak in flavour. It didn't really have any flavour, but I think Foster's might have a little bit more. But we'll be able to confirm this when we put them all head to head together and just compare the whole lot of them once we get to the end of this series. So I'm going to give it 1.5 just because there's no real flavour there. I mean, it's quite scary that this is 4.5, Foster's is 4%, and well, there isn't really any flavour in either of them, let's be totally honest. So. But there's no real aftertaste, so I've got to give it from the point of view that there's no kind of annoying aftertaste. It actually did quite well to actually produce a beer that has no aftertaste whatsoever. Just nothing really there at all. So yeah, it's 1.5 out of 5. So how would I rate it so far just now? I would say Carling's better, then Stella Artois, and then I would probably say Budweiser and Foster's are kind of neck and neck. You might give Budweiser a better position because it's got more alcohol, or you might give Foster's a better position. So it's third and fourth place are kind of neck and neck right now. You could give it to Foster's because it's cheaper. You could give it to Budweiser because hey, it's got a bit more alcohol. I mean, it's really down to that kind of thing. It ain't down to the actual beers. God, a bit gassy, sorry about that. They're just boring and bland and nothing really to them. The good thing is, these aren't epitomising what America is like for brewing and beers, because America brews some really good beers and they know how to brew beers. And trust me, I don't think any American would be in any kind of doubt that this isn't the best beer that comes out of America, which of course this one doesn't anyway because it's brewed under license just like all these international brands. So this is a bit American as my underwear, and that says London on it. So there you go. So that's us for this evening. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.